understand him as a person. Like, you know, his posture.
And me, I'm the purple one. I just love on everybody.
Like, you know? But it was just a process for him to be able to absorb the person and then figure out for himself, oh, this person's not a fail, this person's full of shit, or this person's not a good person, and we become great friends. You know, because I think you don't have to say you're a good person, you have to prove it. You know what I mean? So he's my brother, and we want you to be our sister because we see greatness in you. He says it, Adrian sees it.
You got potential, girl. You got it.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
You know, and the fact that you're here and everybody else is not here, and you're working out with coaches and doing what we do, what does that say about you? Some people quit. You got heart.
It's just like, I think Style Bell says, he's like, just show up. That's all you gotta do, just show up.
You're a beast.
It doesn't matter if one person shows up or 1,000, just show up. Worry about yourself.
And the more you walk through those doors, the closer you're going to feel to us. You're not going to feel like you're alone and you have no family. Because right now you don't even realize it, but we've adopted you. You and Suli, we've adopted you. You're part of the family. Even though you're not a Herbalife member yet, you're my family. You know, and I show you love because I see potential in you. I want you to be great. I want you to be better than us. And you have that. She has it. Are you recording me?
Oh, yeah.
You dork.
She sure is.
I sure am.
Say hi to YouTube land. This will be up in a few
This goes on YouTube in about 3 hours.
Awesome. About 3 hours once I edit it. But the biggest thing normally I share something at the end of every Beast camp. I don't really share too much at the fit camps because Beast camp is my baby. So if you want some personal development, you have to come to Beast camp. But one of the big stories I want to share with the both of you guys is a little story that happened to me about gratitude. Now, we were talking about each other's past. A funny little thing happened. I'm not sure if you guys are too familiar with it, but you know those metaphysical crystal rocks?
Yeah.
Now, whether you choose to believe it or not, that's entirely up to you. I'm a believer in them, but I have a little crystal that I used to carry around all the time. Now, it's a very, very beautiful, smooth rock, but on this one little edge, there's a sharp point. The rest of the rock is smooth, but on this one little tip, it's very, very sharp. And I used to take this. I ended up purchasing it because I was in this bookstore and I was going through a rough period in my life where I was expressing no gratitude whatsoever. I had no personal development. I had nothing up here. I thought I was all this. But whatever it appears here, it starts here. So I was going through the store and this woman just felt my energy. She walked up, a complete stranger, she walked up. This was a couple months back, and she's like, "You're going through a hard time in your life, aren't you?" And I was like, "Oh." And the goosebumps start going on, and you're just like, "Oh, okay." You know, yeah. So that's something to do with your love life and personal development, isn't it? During this time, I was going through a real rough patch in my relationship, and she was like, "I got something for you." And remember, I was in this bookstore for about 2 hours, and I was touching all these books and crystals. All of them were cold, didn't feel nothing. This woman grabbed this random rock. She was like, "I want to see your reaction. Give me your hand." And I just went like that. She dropped the crystal in my hand, and a burning sensation just came all up through my arm. I was like, "You have my attention." I bought it that day, and for about 6 months straight, I was told to carry it in my pocket. And now whenever I felt it, whenever I was going for loose change in my pocket, where I was going for my car keys, whenever I touched it or I remembered that it was in my pocket, I had to express some sort of gratitude. I had to say what I was grateful for that day. Because a lot of people don't do that. Right? But the cool thing about this was, you want to know why I don't hold on to it anymore? Is because it became a habit. You see, when I started holding the crystal, about once every 3 hours, I would remember it was there. And I would say, "Oh, I'm grateful for my vision. I'm grateful for my breath." And then it went on to remembering it every 30 minutes. And then eventually got to a point where I just put it on my desk. And almost every second of the day, I'm saying something that I'm grateful for. I don't even need to hold the rock anymore. But the cool thing about that rock, bless you. The cool thing about that rock, you remember that sharp point? The reason I wouldn't remember why it was in my pocket, because it would roll around and poke you. But the one cool thing was whenever I was in a bad part of my life and my thinking wasn't straight, I would notice I would get pinched by that sharp pain about every 30 seconds. It was non-stop. But whenever I was always expressing gratitude, it was good. That's some cool stuff. I want you guys to remember that. Always express gratitude. How many of us woke up today?
I did. I'm grateful.
Now, out of us, how many of us said thank you for the oxygen that we're breathing?
I did. You read my Facebook, you already know. I hold me accountable.
How many of us expressed gratitude for being able to open our eyes and see colors?
I did. Grateful for the sun. I'm grateful for the air. I'm grateful for my sweat. I'm grateful for the beautiful insects that I see flying around. I'm grateful for everything, for life. God is great.
Exactly. Always express gratitude. About 3 years ago, I was in a very, very bad part of my life. I was in drugs, alcohol, sexual abuse. I was the worst guy on the planet. But it took one night where a cop found me drinking and driving, and I was under the influence of drugs. He had a gun to my head. He was like, "Are you ready?" I was like, because we were about to fight. He pulled out his gun and pointed it straight at my temple. He grabbed me out of my car, yanked me out, slammed me on the hood of his car, handcuffed me. And I came from a background, I was going into architecture, I was a professional wrestler, I was a successful graphic designer. I designed graphics for some of the top companies in the world. Universal Studios, Disney, Toyota, and I'm not saying that to impress y'all. I'm not saying that to push up my ego. But you can have everything in the world
Still not be happy.
and still not be happy. And I remember being handcuffed in the back of his car. I thought I was a hot shot with a gun to my head, and that was my wake-up call. Having that hot engine, heat, just pressing down my face, and I thought my life was going to end. And I remember closing my eyes, and I was like, Jesus, I never believed in you before, but once you hit rock bottom, the cool thing about it is the only place you can go is go up.
You know what's the coolest thing though? Your life did end that night. You were reborn.
Yep. So I remember closing my eyes and just going, Jesus, I promise whatever gets me out of this situation, I'll do it. I promise I'll devote my life to helping others. Within about 10 seconds of me saying that prayer, the police car cut off, and the police officer said this: I don't know why, but something is telling me to let you go tonight. You should be dead, or you should be in jail for many years for the things that I did that night to that police officer. For some strange reason, someone told him to let me go. He took the cuffs off, and he said, get in your car, don't ever let me see you again, but change your life. I went home, flushed all the drugs and alcohol down the toilet, down the sink, and I was a changed man after that. Ever since then, I found the rock. Never forget the sharp edges though. Never ever forget the sharp edges. But remember, your life can be smooth, but it starts up here.
Absolutely.
So are you guys going to express gratitude?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys going to express gratitude?
I am. Every moment of my
Because
day.
what are we?
We are 24 fit.
We're beasts.
We're beasts.
What are we?
We are 24 fit.
What are we?
We are
24. No.
Come on, girl, you guys are energy. What are we?
We are 24 fit.
What are we?
We are 24 fit.
What are we?
We are 24 fit.
Let's go, guys. What time is it?
Shake time.
Let's go.
Good job.
Is it?